So to complete most of the wrestles or exercises in the class, you need to have a place to basically play around, kind of like a sandbox. I call it a scratch pad. You could call it a wrestle pad. You can call it whatever you want. But basically a place where you can write a little bit of code, test it, run it, work with it, fight with it, learn from it. That's the main idea behind having a scratch pad project. You can see here I have several scratch pads. This one, C++, C Sharp, all that kind of stuff. Some other ones, like in here, I have a little place where I write shaders and that kind of thing. But basically, it's a place to play, experiment, and learn. And then on your larger project, you can apply those little things into the bigger picture and create some interesting stuff. So anyway, let me show you how to set up a very basic C++ playground. This is Visual Studio. You can get it from the ELMS or just install it yourself. It may already be on your laptop as well. File, new, file, new, project. I generally use the hotkey Control-Shift-N, but either way, Visual Studio opens up, asks you which kind of project do you want, and you might have Visual C Sharp selected by default or something. I mean, there's a whole bunch of different projects you can do, and you'll learn what these all do as your time continues on at Neumont. I'm going to click Visual C++. I'm going to do a Win32 console application, not a CLR one. You'll learn about the CLR in your .NET class. We're going to do Win32 console application, and then just call it I call it Scratch Pad, or Cratch Pad, Scratch Pad, Wrestle Pad, whatever you want to do. I'll call it Wrestle Pad. As source control, no. Create directory, no, not necessary on this one. That's about it. Hit OK. It'll come up with this wizard, and hit next. And then basically, don't say precompiled header. We'll learn about all this later. But do ensure console application is checked, and then let's just start with an empty project. Hit finish. It says creating project WrestlePad. Project creation was successful. Notice there's nothing here in the middle, and that's because we chose to do an empty project. There's nothing to show. So if you ever hover over here to Solution Explorer, another way to get that open is to hit Control-Alt-L. That'll bring it up as well. We have one solution with one project in it. Solutions can hold multiple projects. We'll see why that's important later when you begin your big project building your game engine. I'm going to hit the arrow here, and you have headers, resource, bunch of empty. They look like folders. They're actually filters. It's just a conceptual way of organizing files inside your project. In no way does that actually map to the actual folder structure on the hard drive. At least in C++ projects. In C# projects, that's actually the opposite. Anyway, so these are just conceptual. Let's right-click on WrestlePad, add. Let's just do item. And let's say, where am I going to go? I want a CPP file, and let's just call it main. You call it WrestleLand or whatever. In fact, main, that looks like the function name. How about WrestleLand? That's a little more cooler, I guess. Click on add, and here we go. So now in here, I can write some C++ code. So found include. Let's just do a hello world. IO stream, you'll see what all this does later. Using std cout, using std inline, int main, it's char star argv. You know what? I'm gonna just for wrestling. Let's just go with the bare bones. Void main. Ooh, oh no, he's using void. I can hear the seasoned C++ programmers just yelling at me right now that oh, you should say int and return it. Yeah, whatever. Let's just go with the bare bones. Void main, and then I'm going to say cout hello. You know, this Solution Explorer is taking up a lot of screen real estate. Hello world inline. Okay, so now I have some code. Let's run it. Control F5 to start it without the debugger. Learn a little more what that means later. Hey, and I get my output window. Okay, I can also hit F5. That runs it with the debugger. That you notice it goes away. Anyway, we'll talk about the debugger later. But that's how you set up your Hello World project. Pretty straightforward, very simple. And then all the assignments, you have all these little wrestles in the assignments. You just do them in here, get the result, copy it, paste it into your Word document, come back, clean out the wrestle pad what we have here, and do the next one.